don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud, shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll, let's go. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express.
Celebrate our newest launch, Rev 7. I'm bringing you an amazing introductory offer, plus an exclusive overstock sale that you're not going to want to miss. Rev 7 is our premium energy drink that tastes great and gives you energy all day with no jitters and no crashes. That's because there's no sugar and no caffeine. I'm so sure you're going to love Rev 7 that for a limited time you can try our 3-pack absolutely free. Or check out our Percale bed sheets. I can't believe I'm even going to say this. Every color, every style, every size, only $29.88. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 20% on our Rev 7 12-packs or try our introductory 3-pack absolutely free. And our Percale bed sheets, all sizes, only $29.88, even the queens and kings. Inventory is extremely limited, so order now.
That's right, folks. Order now. Welcome back to the Oreo Express. Josh here. If you haven't started your Christmas shopping yet, let me tell you, you don't have much time to do it. We're going to be at November 1st in 2 days. Start getting some of that stuff out of the way. Head over to mypillow.com. Look at their slippers, their pillows, their pillow toppers, all that good stuff. Even dog beds. You got a dog? Get your dog a new dog bed. Head over to mypillow.com. Support an America First Patriot company, as well as supporting us here at the Oreo Express. We want to say thank you to you all for doing so, and we appreciate you more than you know. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It is still Thursday, October 30th. We got Halloween coming up tomorrow. I had some I've been jam-packed. I wasn't thinking I was going to get around, but I told you Caden wasn't feeling good, and so he's taking a nap right now. He went to school because he didn't have no fever or anything. Maybe he's just tired. And Rachel went and volunteered in the classroom today because it's always important to be in your kids' education. And they had their Halloween party because there is no school tomorrow. And about 3/4 of the way through the day, she sent me a picture of him just napping on the little table outside while everybody's playing. And if you know Caden, that's not him. He's got the most energy, the most excitement, the bubbly personality. So we're pushing off our plans for a couple hours. Rachel's actually working on some of the stuff for the trunk or treat we're doing tomorrow with our church right now, and he's taking a nap. So then I know Trina and old Uncle Bill and Jay Lynn and all those folks, they reminded me I don't have no PTO. You got to have PTO to take time off. So I was like, I better get to work. Let me jump in here really quick, say hello to some folks. K Texas says, let's go. K Texas rolling around. We're going to talk about some of your friends out there on the road here in a little while. What was it? Operation Midway Blitz in Indiana. Texas Bigfoot says, bring on round 2. Susan K. Spencer, Pixie, Nola's in the house. Let's see. Real sweet. Get down here. Rob Wallace, Fairness 2020, DAHP is in the house. I don't know if you know this or if you were in the last stream, DAHP, but old Uncle Bill gifted you some entries into the raffle. So you're in for 4 entries because last night we had that special. It was one day only. If you bought 3 entries, you got a 4th free. So he bought 3 and you got a 4th one. Trina was also included in that, and old Uncle Bill got 4. So, and then we did get one at like 1 in the morning. that was just for one entry. L. Ralphie in the house, Wishnick 6, Deb V. Thank you all for tuning in. Let's see. Sonia V says, hello, everybody. John Yarder says, with all the evil in the air lately, may the Lord's protective hand be on all that are his. Amen to that. Amen to that. You know, I will tell you, that's one thing about this job. It's like we talk about it sometimes. When we talk about this at church, when you're around negativity all the time, you kind of need prayer. You need stuff like that. Like a lot of times our job, or at least what I do, even when I'm out in the field, it's not, I don't get to say, oh, hey, look at this is all great and dandy. You know, it'd be cool to be a reporter for a sports team or NASCAR or something, you know, where it's all the fun and the highlights. But you start feeling like that. Like when I go to Portland, or when I go to even the state capitol, when there's not very many of these evil demons, but I'm sitting there like, man, you just need to cleanse yourself. So prayers for everybody, that's for sure. And be safe out there. We covered earlier, you had, can't remember what town it was, but they're prepared now that food stamps has ran out for people to be stealing a lot more at the stores. And so prayers to everybody involved. Let me jump over here and see who's over with the red chat. Let's see. We got green chat over here, red chat over here. We got Pastor Carl. Hello, Pastor Carl. Donna Ralph. Hello. Carol Burton, Diane, Matt. Let's see. Gary Wade in the house. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you. We're going to get into it. Start talking about what some of our stuff is. And we got some funny ones. We got one. Jon Stewart and Kamala Harris. You just got to watch Jon Stewart's face. It was absolutely incredible. But here's another one of those stories. Listen to this.
Dawson's kitchen. Detectives say they found Dawson.
Like some of the stuff going on in this country.
Dawson told deputies she doesn't have a car and wants to get out of the house. She told detectives that on the ride, she fell asleep and woke up to the driver trying to touch her. So she says she stabbed him in self-defense. Deputies allege she dumped his body in a field and drove his car back to her apartment. Inside Dawson's kitchen, detectives say they found a butcher's block of knives, with all the knives except for one. In the field where deputies found the driver's body, they also discovered a matching knife, Dawson's credit cards, and a single black tennis shoe. The sheriff's office says it found the other black tennis shoe covered in blood in this dumpster at the complex. Dawson told deputies she doesn't have a car.
This is crazy because there's other people reporting a little bit different, that she was a former college athlete who once tried out for the U.S. Olympic shot put team. It says police say Dawson called an Uber to her apartment late at night. She's accused of stabbing and killing the driver. The rideshare data confirmed she was the final passenger. It says Dawson first told police she went to visit a friend and then changed her story, saying she just wanted to go for a ride. Now, I don't know about you. I take Uber and Lyft when I have to. Absolutely have to. Usually when we're traveling. But I think people without a vehicle, I don't know, maybe there's that much money going around. Uber used to be a lot more affordable than it is now when Democrats put their hands in the cookie jar, especially here in California. And so, I don't know, maybe people do go joyriding in an Uber car late at night, but I've never heard anybody, and I know friends that actually take it quite often. They never say, I said, what did you do last night? I never hear, oh man, I was bored. I called an Uber. So it says she claims she woke up to Campbell trying to assault her and stabbed him in self-defense. And investigators say the knife, you heard that part, So she called an Uber and just happened to take a knife out of her knife block to go on the Uber ride? That's crazy. And then she had his keys and wallet hidden in her apartment. This wasn't no self-defense, folks. This is going to be interesting. I hope we don't forget to check back up on this one. How about this one? Man, are Democrats groomer protectors? I got to watch what I say on this platform over here. Breaking, Derek Warrener, the second vice chair of the Union County Democrat Party in North Carolina, has been arrested for assault. Derek allegedly spat on an individual who was protesting against Union County Pride for allowing a convicted child sex offender to help organize the Pride event. So they're like, hey, you have a child sex offender here that's helping organize this stuff. I think there's an issue. We're going to protest that. And so the second vice chair of the Democrat Party there arrested. One charge of simple assault. Man. Protectors of what? Now, here's the funny one, guys. When people say, well, what do you think things would be like? I get people that ask this all the time. If Kamala would have been elected. And I don't think I'm too far off on this one. Hold on. KLM79, it looks like, gifted a subscription. I think. Why does it keep pulling that up? Give me 1 second. It won't tell me. I think so. Let's see if we can go back down. Yes, gifted a subscription to John Yarder. And I'm like, you know what? Me and Rachel seriously talked about it. I was like, there's nowhere else for us to go. We could find a cheap spot in Mexico, have our Starlink, homeschool Caden, just worry about food, not live a normal life, because it's going to get much worse than that here in the United States. I can promise you that. Listen to this one. And she did a couple interviews. She was on another interview talking about, it's this interview. But listen to this, because Joe Biden, and I want you to look at Jon Stewart's face. This is hilarious, folks.
I believe he was fully competent to serve.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
That surprises me, actually.
No, I do. There's a distinction to be made between running for president and being president.
Okay, I'm going to back this up again. It's perfectly fine to be president, but there's a distinction to be made being president and running for president. Like, if you're not capable of running for president, you don't have no cognitive ability, it's okay to be president. You got to get that distinction. Like, I don't know if I would ever want to figure out how to get in someone's brain, especially Kamala Harris. But I want y'all to listen to this again. The word salads, that is probably going to go down as when in 15 years from now, if we run into each other and we use the word salad, Kamala is always going to come up. Ding, 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 ding. If you say dollar store, Hakeem Jeffries is going to come up, right? Take a look at this.
I believe he was fully competent to serve.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
That surprises me, actually.
No, I do. There's a distinction to be made between running for president and being president.
What's the distinction?
Well, being a candidate for president of the United States is about being in a marathon at a sprinter's pace, having tomatoes thrown at you every step you take.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah.
So she's saying, and really, I believe she believes this. that it's harder to run for president. It's more important to be physically fit and understand things while running for president. But once you're there, hell, he didn't do nothing after 10. It's what the auto pin was for. Just listen to this. I tell you guys, every once in a while, I laugh at some of the stuff I show you because I have to watch it all. I have to figure it all out before I put it on the air for you. And this one was a laugh out loud moment. I'm going to play all the way through really quick because it just makes absolutely perfect sense to nobody.
I believe he was fully competent to serve.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
That surprises me, actually.
No, I do. There's a distinction to be made between running for president and being president.
What's the distinction?
Well, being a candidate for president of the United States is about being in a marathon at a sprinter's pace, having tomatoes thrown at you every step you take.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah, it's more than a notion.
Get involved in public service, ladies and gentlemen.
And to be the seated president, the sitting president, while doing that, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. I think it's a hard case to make for people that he didn't have the stamina to run, but he had the stamina to govern. Because I think most people view the presidency as a marathon run at a sprint with tomatoes being thrown at you in terms of governance.
We just talked about that earlier with, we played a clip 2 weeks ago with CNN saying that the reporters can't keep up with Donald Trump, much different than Joe Biden. And we just heard JD Vance on his interview 2 days ago. We played some of that this morning where he's like, we go to these overseas trip. He might sleep 2 hours, midnight, 2 a.m. He's walking around the plane, waking up press, doing a gaggle. Oh, but she will never know what it's like to be president. That's a promise, folks. That's a promise. Now this talks about some perverted stuff. I had to double check this was real. This is one of the, I guess you could say, a Mamdani supporter. Her name is Jennifer Welch. She's part of the liberal media. This is disgusting, folks. Listen to what she says day 2 in New York and how she just normalizes this. And this is who you have supporting a communist candidate in Mamdani. This is insane. I thought it was really AI. Take a listen.
Tell you what I've had it with. And I discussed this before, but now that I'm living in New York, it's a real issue for me. Listener, Kylie is abundantly aware that I am a very fast walker, and I don't realize how fast I'm walking. It's just, I just do. I have one pace when I walk. And Kylie is kind of a famous non-walker. Like she can get less than 1,000 steps in one day. So as I'm trekking down, and my French bulldogs moved to New York with me, and they are excellent walkers, and we go on walks every night. And it's somebody who's walking in front of us, and they're at a good click too. And then all of a sudden stop right in the middle of the sidewalk with no announcement, don't step aside. And then Cha-Cha, Tubbs, me, we're all just banging into the person. So I've had it with that. And then I told Pumps this story, but I think I should tell you and the listener. So day 2 of me being in New York, I took the subway to Soho to get my hair colored. And as I'm walking down the subway steps, there's a guy kind of lying on the steps before I got to the part where you pay. And he's masturbating.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like I'm walking down and I see the motion, see that his pants are undone. I didn't quite see the peen or anything like that. And I was like, it kind of takes, I was like, oh, that's what he's doing. And then he looks up directly at me and he says, I'm coming. And then he did.
No.
Yeah. So I thought a couple of things about this. Number one, that's disgusting for sure. But number 2, I've still got it.
No.
I've still got it because a homeless drug addict was able to get a nut off. Like, This is what I talk about. Remember when I said when we go to some of these liberal areas, like it's disgusting to us and it's like I feel like I'm in a third world country? It's normalized to these people. These are Mamdani supporters. This is who you got promoting Mamdani as a candidate. Oh my. Wait, I was like, this can't be real. This can't be real. Like you're enjoying talking about this and that made you feel like you still had something. Oh my gosh. And let me tell you, you don't got it. You look like a liberal, a disgusting liberal. But there you go. There you go. Welcome to a white liberal woman destroying America. How bad does your self-esteem gotta be to think that was a win? I don't know. Ugh. How about this? This is some good news. This is from oh man, Florida Commissioner of Education Anastasius Kamatsas. So this was dated today, and he's got a round of applause from the governor there of Florida, Ron DeSantis. It says, I took immediate action against a professor at Florida Southwestern State College by removing him from the statewide sociology course work group after reports confirmed that he was using instructional material promoting gender ideology, a direct violation of the state statute. I am also recommending the college president take further disciplinary action to ensure this never happens again. It says Florida taxpayers deserve general education courses that reflect proven, lawful, and fact-based instructive, not speculative ideology. I like this. And this is the letter here. And it says, as a professor at Florida Southern State College, you have been entrusted by the people of Florida who pay your salary with the responsibility to teach in a way that complies with state law. You have broken that trust and failed in that responsibility. My office has received reports that instructional content which promotes gender ideology forms a heavily integrated part of your SYG 1000 Introduction to Sociology. While this course was approved to meet Florida's general education requirement for a degree at your institutions, your actions have demonstrated that it has not been taught with fidelity and statutory requirements. Like, who wants more of this? I know the taxpayers do. We pay for all these damn colleges. There's a lot of damn people that don't deserve an education that get it on our taxpayer dollars. But hey, this is a good one right here. This is a good one right here. So, what else do we have today? JD Vance, Sean Duffy, and what was it? The CEO of United Airlines have a press conference. I'm going to show you some of that. Grab this off the ground. It fell. And don't forget, guys, if you want to get in, we have a raffle going on right now for the cross. It was donated back. We had a winner yesterday. Krista R donated it back. Thank you so much, Krista. And it'll also, you get this and one light up hat, either a MAGA hat or a Trump light up hat. So if you guys want to get in, every $10 donation gets you one entry. If you do $30, that's 3 entries. We are viewer funded, so we appreciate your guys' support and want to say thank you. But you can go to Venmo. You can donate at Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $Oreo Army, givesendgo.com/Oreo 2024. And then if you use online or mobile banking, our Zelle address is on our website. Our website's theoreoexpress.com. But we also, I'll give you the Zelle address. It's purepatriot559@yahoo.com. That's PURE patriot559@yahoo.com. We appreciate everybody that gets into the raffle, that donates to us, because you guys make the lights turn on and everything else. So we appreciate you. Let's listen to JD Vance here. Talk about the government shutdown.
everybody. How we doing? Good. Well, let's let these guys file out here. But, what we just did was a little roundtable with leaders in the aviation industry. We've got leaders of labor represented. We've got leaders of the businesses that are, of course, making the airline industry run. And I just wanted to hear from people about the stresses of the aviation industry in light of the fact of the shutdown. And here's what I found out. It actually worries me a great deal because I think that as much as delays have gotten worse over the last couple of weeks, everybody here is very worried that we're going to see more delays, more stresses on the people who are actually making the aviation system run, and more problems for both the consumers, but also the great workers who actually make this incredible shining jewel of the American economy actually work and work on time and work safely. Here are the things that I worry about. I worry about the people who are scanning our bags and making us get through the security line. I worry they're not getting paychecks. They're starting to get worried about how to feed their families and how to pay school tuition and everything else. I worry about the pilots who haven't gotten paid in a long time. I worry about the air traffic controllers who, of course, make this entire system extra safe. I worry about them, more worried about their credit card bill than they should be because they're not getting a paycheck because Democrats refuse to open the government. Now, I understand that a lot of Americans are sick of partisanship in Washington, D.C. Trust me, I've been here for 9 months in this job. I am sick of partisanship in Washington, D.C. But this is very, very simple. Every partisan dispute, every policy disagreement, all of these things we can talk about, we can reason through, we can disagree, we can shake hands and compromise on some of those issues, hopefully. But this is something that every single American, Democrat or Republican or independent, should be able to agree on. Open the government. Stop this craziness and open the government. It's causing way too many problems. And some of the folks behind me are the people who are dealing with the problems. Now, let's just recap exactly what's happened politically in this town related to the government shutdown. We have had now multiple votes to reopen the United States government. The House of Representatives has voted affirmatively to reopen the United States government. 52 Republicans and 3 Democrats consistently vote to reopen the United States government, but we need 60 votes. So all we need to end the craziness, to pay the air traffic controllers, to pay the TSA agents, to pay the pilots, to make sure that food stamp benefits continue to go out to the American people who need them. All we need is 5 reasonable Democrats to join 3 moderate Democrats and 52 Republicans to reopen the government. I want to let Sean Duffy say something, but before I do, I just want to say to any Democrat in the United States Senate, we are happy to talk about any policy issue. We're happy to talk about healthcare policy. We're happy to talk about tax policy. We're happy to talk about regulatory policy. The point of a gun. You do not get to take the American people's government hostage and then demand that we give you everything you want in order to pay our air traffic controllers. It's a ridiculous set of demands. Let's reopen the government and then let's sit down and talk about how to compromise on policy for the American people. Sean?
Appreciate it, Mr. Vice President. So,
You don't get to take us hostage at gunpoint to demand. And boy, there's a lot of demands. We're going to talk about some other stuff here in a minute. But what was also epic is the CEO of United Airlines joined this group demanding that Democrats pass the CR and reopen the government. We've covered a couple of them, but if you go look online, there's been a lot of ground stoppage at airports where no planes are coming in and out because the air traffic controller shortage. This was part of the Democrats' plan, cause as much chaos as they can. Say, well, this only happens when Trump is president, just like they did through his last 4 years in office. Remember the summer of love in 2020? Oh, yeah, these buildings are burning, the city's on fire. This is Trump's fault. And nobody's retarded enough. I mean, there is people out there retarded enough to believe that. But again, those people aren't going to vote for Trump or any Republican anyways. I want you to listen to what he says here. Take a listen.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Thank you, Secretary Duffy. Thank you all for being here with us today. And I want to start by really thanking the professionals, the air traffic controllers, folks at the TSA, also the FAA, the people in management. They're working hard. They are keeping the skies safe. They've minimized delays. Fewer than 2% of flights have been delayed so far because of air traffic control shortage. So they've done a great job. But It's putting stress on people. It's not fair to those people. It's also putting stress on the economy. The first couple of weeks has had no impact on the economy, but as every day goes by, the impacts start to grow. And airlines are a pretty good real-time indicator of the economy, and we start to see, still minor, but steep booking impact. And you see that happening in the economy, put the whole economy at risk. And so it's been 30 days, and while I don't have a position on which partisan side and how things should be settled with healthcare, it has been 30 days. I also think it is time to pass a clean CR, use that as the opportunity to get into a room behind closed doors and negotiate hard on the real and substantive issues that the American people want our politicians on both sides of the aisle to solve. But let's get a clean CR and get that negotiation done behind closed doors without the pressure, without putting the American workers and the American economy at risk.
You're great.
Mr. Vice
Okay, guys, let's
President.
take a few questions. Yeah.
Sure, Mr. Vice
Go
President.
ahead.
Thanks, Mr.
Pass the clean CR. Enough with holding the American people, TSA, our military, all these people hostage. A lot of times when it comes to Democrats' priorities, it's not the American citizens. We've seen that time and time again. And I see all the fake news and stuff about it. And we're going to get into something that I played for you a couple years ago. But before I do, listen, I mean, it's not going good for Democrats. I got 2 videos of CNN clips with Cory Booker. Take a listen to this. But Trump, a lot of times, is what we hear.
Democrats have been consistently voting no on just keeping the government running, opening the government. Are there some Democrats, do you, sir, because you voted no, bear some responsibility for endangering people's food aid?
Well, Donald Trump has said very bluntly that I'm going to cause.
Did you catch that? She didn't ask anything about Donald Trump. She said, Democrats. Let's listen to it again. Answer the question, Mr. Booker. Let's see.
Democrats have been consistently voting no on just keeping the government running, opening the government. Are there some Democrats, do you, sir, because you voted no, bear some responsibility for endangering people's food aid?
Well, Donald Trump has said very bluntly.
There's another one. There's another one right here. I think this is a different one. Let's see. Once again, it's looking really bad for Democrats, guys. I'm sorry. Like, if this was the Republicans going through this, I would be, I think I don't back up Republicans blindly. There's a lot of Republicans that I can't stand. I think when they do stupid stuff, I'll call them out on it. But this right here, I don't know how anybody could defend Democrats at this point. Take a listen to this one.
So you say that Republicans are being cruel, but it's also true that you just have to vote yes, and 4 other Democratic senators have to vote yes, and the government will be reopened. And Elizabeth and 800,000 constituents of yours in New Jersey will, at least in the short term, not go without food.
Well, you see the choice that the Republicans are trying to force here. Choose between.
The Republicans aren't trying to force any choice. She's talking to you. She's talking about your constituents, 800,000 of them in New Jersey that are going out without food in 2 days. And what'd she say? It takes you and 4 other Democrats to just get the government open. You can negotiate everything else. You could scream from the top of the mountaintops. You could say Donald Trump is killing 50,000 people a year. I mean, you've always done that. Nothing's changing. This is the party of whiners and crybabies. But when you got CNN, even MSNBC saying, hey, all you guys got to do is 5 votes. 5 votes. Everything's solved that you're bitching about right now. They just incredible. Just incredible. Speaking of that, I want to play video. I played this for you a couple years ago. When they talk about SNAP benefits, when they talk about health care, now Joe Biden, when people were illegally coming over, he tried to figure out ways to keep them in the country. All maybe close to 20 million of them. We were seeing hundreds and hundreds of thousands a month in certain sections in the Del Rio sector during the what I call the Mayorkas prime time, when he said, border's not open. Border's not open. And we're sitting down there on the ground. We're playing literally him live while we're watching hundreds just walk by us, coming in like they're coming to the fair. The state fair's in town. And what do we have here? I'm going to show you something. Remember, they made it and gave them status so that they could get EBT. They could get Section 8, all the taxpayer-funded things, because they needed to import voters. They needed to import their people. American citizens, other than white liberal women, were done with the Democrat Party. You've seen the protests and the people they get out to the protests. Hell, I don't know if half of them are going to make it long enough to vote in 2028. And I'm not being rude here. I'm just trying to paint a picture of reality. Take a listen to this. This was during the Biden era. And when we talk about cutting costs, when we talk about taking away services to non-citizens, don't care what you're on. Don't care what you're here on a green card. Don't care. You need to be an American citizen to receive American taxpayer benefits. We need to change that completely. And Trump kind of has in some ways. Take a listen to this. This is from Biden.
SNAP is a nutrition program that helps with the cost of healthy food. Enrolling your eligible children in these programs will have no effect on the immigration status of you or anyone in your family, including applications for a...
Enrolling your children into SNAP will not have any bearing on your immigration status. Meaning, if you want a green card, if you want to become a citizen, but you're an illegal now, don't worry. This was under the Health and Human Services under the Biden administration. I know they are sitting there and Democrats are saying illegals don't get SNAP. This was their commercial that they put out in the middle of our invasion.
No effect on the immigration status of you or anyone in your family, including applications for a green card or... Any information you provide on the application will only be used to determine your child's eligibility. This information will not be shared with immigration enforcement.
They're actually suing right now because immigration enforcement wants that information, and Democrats say, well, why do they want that information? Why do you think they're here to get illegals out? It's what the majority of Americans voted for. But once again, you're not going to see this kind of things on your 5 o'clock news. I was listening to the news last night for like 20 minutes in the background while I'm working on some stuff just to hear. And when I was hearing this, even the local Fox channel, it's just amazing. They were talking about these raids. They were talking about Gregory Bovino in charge of, Border Patrol. And when he used the tear gas, they didn't talk about the rocks. They didn't talk about the assaults on ICE agents. No, they left all that stuff part out. That's why we need more people doing what we do here. And that's why I appreciate your guys' support on getting out the real news. Because if you're stuck just behind your TV, you are getting no truth. No truth. See, how about this? I also played this probably 2.5, 3 years
American
ago.
got per day.
Illegal aliens were getting more taxpayer benefits than actual citizens. This is New York City to hand out prepaid credit cards to migrants. Remember when we covered that? Listen to this.
Migrant will get approximately $12.52 per day to purchase food and baby supplies. But that's about 40% more than what the average low-income American got per day in government food stamps or SNAP benefits in 2022 at $7.59 per person.
This was all through the Democrat era of open borders. These were the things they're doing. So when they say, well, we're not going to do that. How about this one? This is good news. This is good news. People say, well, what does the Bible say? What is this? You know what? Follow the law. Don't come into the country illegal. I'm going to say this Heaven has a strict immigration policy. And if you think that the Bible says a country can't protect its borders, if you think that the Bible says that, and what the funny thing is they always leave out what a generous country we are. Go look at the numbers. Your tax dollars, your entire life has gone to support other countries. We have put America last. Our infrastructure, our own people, our homeless, our veterans. I'm okay with helping out other countries, just not the way we've done it. We've got ourselves involved, caused a whole lot of chaos in the Middle East when you had, people like Obama in office, the regime changes, everything else that causes chaos. And then, the American taxpayer needs to pay for that. But listen to this. About 90,000 people will lose SNAP benefits in an average month as a result to new restrictions narrowing which non-citizens can access the program. Remember when we voted on this? I think this was part of the big, beautiful bill package. I could be wrong, but this is going around now because we're getting at that time. And it says, after fleeing the war-torn Democratic Republic of Congo, Antoinette landed in the Atlanta area. They're going to give you a sob story, right? Last November, and began to find her footing with federal help. Separated from her adult children and grieving her husband's death in the war, she started a job packing boxes in a warehouse, making just enough to cover rent for her own apartment and bills. Antoinette has been relying on supplemental nutrition and assistance program, formerly known as food stamps, for her weekly grocery trips. But now, just as life is starting to stabilize, she will have to deal with a new setback. President Donald Trump's massive budget law, which Republicans call the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, slashes $187 billion, nearly 20% from the federal budget for SNAP through 2034. And separate from any temporary SNAP stoppages due to the federal shutdown, the law cuts off access completely to refugees and other immigrant groups in the country lawfully. The change was slated to take effect immediately when the law was signed in July, but states are still waiting for federal guidance on when to stop or phase it out. For Antoinette, 51, who did not want her last name used for fear of deportation and likely persecution in her native country, the loss of food aid is dire. So what this means is we gave a whole lot of temporary protection status to people that don't deserve it, people that we made up reasons to give it under Joe Biden. We would cover it. 195,000 people from here, they said it was a crime-ridden country. Remember when we did that and said you were safer there? We pulled up Chicago's numbers versus whatever country that was. You were safer there than in Chicago, on the streets of Chicago. And they were using this and finagling it. So your tax dollars would go to feed, house, and clothe foreigners that came into our country illegally. Those days are over. Josh, I give it a week before they show a starving child and say, look what Trump is doing. This is worse than Africa. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They're already trying to put people up there that haven't even lost SNAP yet. And they're saying, they had one woman, I should have brought it up. There's some funny ones, and I don't mean to make light of it. But she goes, this lady said, I don't need to be using my savings account to buy food. You're on SNAP and you have a savings account? Most Americans that aren't on SNAP live paycheck to paycheck, and you have a savings account? The whole system is rigged against working class Americans, folks. But thank you for the Rumble rant. That's $32 Matt has gave in the last, 18 hours. I don't know if he knows about the other 30, but thank you, Matt. We appreciate you. Jalen tried to lie and say the button got stuck. I'm not getting the middle of that one. How about this? The crime in D.C., they actually had a pretty bad crime weekend. I want you to listen to U.S. Attorney for D.C., Janine Pirro. Gives an update on the arrest of a suspect accused of killing a congressional intern and then 17-year-old girl, and then a 17-year-old girl. And then we're going to listen to the parents. Take a listen to this. This is just insane.
Eric died alone. No mother, no father, no sister. Why? Because 3 teenagers, 2 17, 1 18, all accustomed to getting away with criminal behavior because they lived in a district that didn't take it seriously. They never believed they would be punished, so they kept moving.
Sickening, sickening. Now listen to this. Listen to this. Yeah, people. These are the ones that kind of get to me. Oh, where'd it go? Wrong one. Hold on. I pulled up the family of that. Let me see. Let's see if it's on here. Oh man, I love watching these. I gotta open this one up. Give me 1 second. I gotta show you guys this at the end. You guys get a kick out of it. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can find this. Anyways, the family came on and we're just distraught. And say you have people, mainly white people, protesting the National Guard in DC. And you have people being murdered. I mean, it was heartbreaking. Let me see if I can find it really quick. And Mikey Ray says, happy Thursday. Thank you, Mikey Ray, for making it happy. Appreciate you. And you are into our raffle for 2 entries. You are into our raffle for 2 entries. Thank you. Oh, my gosh. There's another one I got to play here in a minute. I'm going to play this right now. I'm going through looking for that. And Senator Alex Padilla, unfortunately, my senator, says, a pastor in Fresno reached out to my office to share the impact that food insecurity is having on the community already. Food banks are running out of resources within a half an hour of doors opening. Families are uncertain where their next meal is coming from. It says Trump has billions of dollars in emergency funding available to feed people who rely on SNAP. He's choosing not to. So this is my area. I can already imagine what woke pastor it is. But let me ask you a question. Do you want to know how this is politics? It hasn't started yet. That's November 1st. We got 2 days in the month. This guy, crazy. Let me put something down on this really quick. I put, wow, 2 days before the money actually runs out. This isn't propaganda. Oh, and Gandalf, thank you so much, Gandalf, with a $100 Rumble rant, and he's in for 10 in the raffle. Thank you, Gandalf. MAGA 100%. MAGA every day, all day. MAGA every day, all day. I tell you what, there was a lot of MAGA folks before Trump. I would consider myself, you go look at the news articles, I was fighting the school districts on the wokeness. And what Trump was able to do, I would call it close to a revolution. And remember, I even stated that this is such a big movement, they could have put Trump in jail. They thought that would stop MAGA. You know what it would have done? What it did when they indicted him. It grew MAGA. There are so many people that absolutely love this country and want to make America first. That's make America great again. The first principle in that is America first. Thank you, Gandalf. Appreciate you, and thank you for your continued support. You rock. Thank you so much. But this is just funny. This is Senator Alex Padilla talking about, a pastor in Fresno reached out to my office. How is that possible? 2 days. It's like, we're going to close the access to the beach on Friday, and we're sitting at Wednesday. Residents are furious they can't get onto the beach. Well, they can get onto the beach until Friday. I'm sorry. They just lie so much. They just lie so much. How about this? This is hilarious. We covered Kat Abu Ghazala or whatever her name is, the one that used to be with the leftist group Media Matters and is now running as a congressional candidate in Illinois. And she was charged yesterday, federally indicted. And then we played her video. I'm not going to play the whole thing because we did, but she was federally indicted. Well, guess what? It was hilarious, guys. You want to see somebody that looks beyond guilty? She actually went on a podcast and they played the video. She exited the podcast. Listen to this. I hope this woman does jail time. This poor me. It was my First Amendment right. You're right. My First Amendment right does not allow me to go hit a vehicle. It does not allow me to block federal officers. It does not allow me to block local officers. I am a First Amendment absolutist. You can say whatever you want. I've even disagreed with some stories lately where people were using their First Amendment right and they were like getting attacked. And I'm like, they have a right to say it. It doesn't mean there's not consequences in the public square, but legally, there should be no consequences from the government. Watch this. Watch this. This is absolutely epic, guys. You're going to love this. Favorite part of the show today.
The indictment alleges that you and others, quote, surrounded a federal officer's vehicle, banged on its hood and windows, etched pig on the side.
Etched pig on the side. I didn't know that yesterday.
And impeded movement. Did you etch the word pig on the side of an officer's car?
I'm not speaking to the specifics of anything that's in the indictment right now, but like I said, I do plan on pleading not guilty, and the evidence will come out in court, and I plan on winning.
Okay. Well, let's not watch the video of what happened that day that they are. What do you, when you see that, what do you think right now?
Tara, once again, this is my first time being federally indicted. Like I said, I plan on pleading not guilty. The evidence will come out in court, and I plan on winning. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Just really quickly, I did want to ask you about just the fact that conspiracy to impede an officer is up to 6 years in prison, forcibly impeding and intimidating an officer is up to 8 years. Is that that could actually hinder your ability to serve in Congress? Are you concerned about that? Did she just sign off? Did she just leave the chat?
Guys, I think she's toast. I think she's toast. I think she knows she's toast. This isn't your First Amendment right. Like she said, we're going to watch it one more time. Let's see how much time I get. Yes, because this and unfortunately, Kamala Harris saying it's harder to run for president than it is to be the president was tied with this one for my favorite today.
The indictment alleges that you and others, quote,
pig
surrounded
on the
a
side of a
federal
car.
officer's vehicle, banged on its hood and windows, etched pig on the side, and impeded movement. Did you etch the word pig on the side of an officer's car?
I'm not speaking to the specifics of anything that's in the indictment right now, but like I said, I do plan on pleading not guilty, and the evidence will come out in court, and I plan on winning.
Okay. Well, let's not watch the video of what happened that day that they are. what do you, when you see that, what do you think right now?
Tara, once again, this is my first time being federally indicted, like I said.
Yeah.
This is my first time being federally indicted. Like I said, I'm kind of new at all this, guys. Give me a moment.
And I'm pleading not guilty. The evidence will come out in court, and I plan on winning. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Just really quickly, I did want to ask you about just the fact that like conspiracy to impede an officer is up to 6 years in prison, forcibly impeding and intimidating an officer is up to 8 years.
Forcibly impeding, up to 8 years, folks. Up to 8 years. Please. Again, pray for justice. Pray for justice. These people are sending a message. Not only am I running for Congress, I'm impeding officers. I'm etching pig in the car. You can do it too. And now she's using this to grift, saying her First Amendment rights have been taken away. This was epic. This was my favorite one. She's like, bye-bye. Ta-ta for now. Oh, man, I wish I would have had my stream deck ready. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Get this one going. Let's see. Oh, man, I don't even know where all this stuff is. I got to get all this stuff organized once we get the other computer set up in a week or so. She's like...
You can't touch this.
She thinks... you can't touch. She thinks she's untouchable, folks. She's untouchable. How about this? We covered earlier Illinois Governor Pritzker. Oh, we got another one right here. Thank you guys so much. And you are in also, Chevy, for the beautiful cross and one of the light up hats. And you say new shirt, MAGA first. Well, I haven't said anything because we're designing them right now, but we are going to have about 3 new shirts coming out. Thursday, we got that tomorrow. Hopefully by Monday. I'm going to work on it over the weekend. There will be something that'll be pretty cool. I think you'll like MAGA style. And thank you, Chevy, for that donation. Thank you to the Oreo Army. I didn't get any, I'm making sure. I'm going to put the email up too, just in case you guys donate on Zelle or Cash App. Hold on, so I can give you a shout out. All right. So we had Governor Pritzker, Illinois governor, say that he wants to protect human smugglers, drug traffickers during the Halloween weekend. He said, I'm going to ask Kristi Noem and Donald Trump to stop their illegal alien enforcement activities. Like, why would you do that? Oh, it's to protect the kids. Here was Kristi Noem's
quick
response.
Final question following up on Chicago, because I know that there are a lot of Chicagoans talking about this right now, because there is a lot of ICE activity, obviously, in that city. And you are making the case, obviously, rightly so. But the governor has asked you specifically to pause immigration enforcement operations in that city. So he says that kids can safely celebrate Halloween. Do you have any plans to alter activity tomorrow on that day?
No, we're going to be out on the streets in full force and increase our activities to make sure kids are safe. Every day in Chicago, we're arresting murderers, child pedophiles, those who have perpetuated assault and pornography against children. We're going to be out there to make sure that they can be safe, enjoy the holidays, spend some time with their families and their neighbors and their communities, and they don't have to be the victim of a crime because of these illegal aliens that are in our country victimizing them.
Madam. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'll be honest. I'm going to be at church tomorrow for Halloween, right? We're doing a trunk or treat. I'm going to give you guys some pictures. I'm actually going to take the GoPro right here. I have it right here. I got to get it charged up, but take the GoPro. We got this suction cup mount. I'm going to put on the car right here so we can get you guys a little video of our setup. And we're going to be safe. Obviously, our church has a great security staff. But then when I go and we get home, we're probably going to hit 2 blocks in the neighborhood, which is a pretty safe neighborhood. But if I I don't even know if I would take my kids out trick-or-treating if I was in Chicago. And don't get me wrong, I've been to Chicago. There is beautiful parts of Chicago. There's some parts that are pretty safe, but that's the small portion of Chicago. The rest, the larger area of Chicago is very dangerous. And especially when people are out partying, drinking, people are, I guarantee, promise you, we will probably, Saturday's Caden's last game, so I probably won't be doing a live stream, but I will on Monday update you on some of the craziness that happened there on Halloween. Because you're going to see people getting mugged, robbed, beat, probably stabbed and shot. Happy Halloween, right? From Governor Pritzker. Just insane. Just insane. But now, I know I see Matt and Jalen both in the chat right now, so I don't think they were the ones that got arrested. But Kristi Noem announced as part of Operation Midway Blitz in Indiana, ICE arrested 223 illegals. That's right, 223 illegals. Now, we've been talking about the illegals taking American jobs, and we've been told that they don't take American jobs. They're only here to work in the fields. And they pay a lot of taxes to work in the fields, folks. That's another lie that we hear. And then we find out they're superintendents of schools, they're teachers of schools, they're truck drivers. And we got good friends from the People's Convoy that are good people, truck drivers, and I talk to some of them regularly. I had a talk with Dee about a week and a half ago, and when you get illegal aliens in there, that drives down the pay to legal citizens. And these people can't speak English, they can't read, they don't understand America, they don't understand our laws, and we put them on the road operating big equipment. That arrest included, out of the 223 in Indiana, 47 semi-truck drivers and another 82 who drove box trucks, buses, and moving vans. Jalen says, I thought you weren't going to tell Matt about sending you multiple rents. I don't know what you're talking about. My lips are sealed. Loose lips sinks chips. Their CDLs were issued primarily in guess what states? California, sanctuary state. Illinois, sanctuary state. New York, sanctuary state. There's a problem here. Take a listen to this.
Now, through our 287G partnership that we have with the state of Indiana, we have run an operation recently which has allowed to hundreds of arrests that has brought people in that are breaking our laws. Through that partnership, 223 illegal aliens have been arrested and taken off of our roads. Of those, 146 of them were drivers. That includes 46 semi-truck drivers and another 82 of them that were either box trucks, buses, moving vans, vehicles such as that. The CDLs that were issued to those individuals were issued from over a dozen different states. Many of those individuals could have been licensed in a state somewhere and received their CDL in another state, but overwhelmingly, these individuals have come from sanctuary states such as California and Illinois and New York. If you are here driving on our streets illegally and our highways, you are endangering our citizens and your days are numbered. I want to thank Secretary Sean Duffy from the Department of Transportation for all of his work too. You've seen him focus on the effort to get these individuals off of our streets, and I want to thank him for doing that and implementing new policies and regulations that will keep our citizens safe.
America first. We need our jobs here for American people, not government jobs. Like under Joe Biden, we gained 130,000 jobs last month. That's a lot. How many in the private sector? We lost in the private sector 24,000. But we got a lot of government jobs. Not anymore. Again, MAGA, America first. This was Brianna Morello, says DHS and Indiana State Police arrested 223 illegal aliens in Northwest Indiana near the Illinois border. This includes 146 truck drivers. The effort was part of Chicago's Operation Midway Blitz. The effort, crimes linked to those arrests: DUI, drug trafficking, theft, burglary, assault, child abuse, domestic battery, prostitution, and fraud. More than 40 of them had commercial driver's license. And as you know, they come from what states? California, New York, and Illinois. Now, Secretary Duffy has already removed one of the grants. Was it a $20 or $40 million transportation grant for California for not following the rules that he's put in place? Again, Biden wanted these people to be doing everything. You go into your doctor's office, and some of you already dealing with this, they're not going to speak English. They're doing voodoo witchcraft stuff. Crazy stuff. Listen, this is beautiful. ICE Deputy Director Madison Sheehan. I think it's Sheehan. Listen to this.
Good morning. I'm Madison Sheehan, the Deputy Director of ICE. I'd like to thank Secretary Noem and Director Lyons for allowing ICE officers to get out on the street and do their job every single day. Today, we have a historic partnership with the state of Indiana. Thanks to Governor Braun and his superintendent and his entire team at the state, we were able to delegate them 287G authority, which gives immigration authority to state and local law enforcement. In the state of Indiana, we have over 14 agreements with over 200 officers trained in the task force model. Thanks to President Trump, we were able to expand the 287G program to a task force model that allows us to walk beside state and local officers as we conduct arrests in the places that they know that the worst of the worst are. And the state of Indiana understands the risk of having semi-trucks on the highway with people who don't know how to drive them and don't know how to use them. And so being able to go in and partner with the state of Indiana in this historic way, thanks to the One Big Beautiful Bill that was passed, we are now able to then provide reimbursements to the state of Indiana for the work that they've done and the time that they've dedicated to the men and women of ICE to be able to do this every single day. Governor Braun has seen firsthand the significance of being able to walk beside ICE to make sure that we're removing the worst of the worst from his community, to get people off of the streets that should have never been here in the first place. Thanks to Secretary Noem and Director Lyons, the men and women of ICE are able to go out every single day, work beside the state of Indiana to be able to do this. And this is not the first place that we're doing this, and it won't be the last either. We'll continue to work throughout the country to make sure that we are doing our jobs to put the American people first. Governor Braun and Superintendent, I'd like to thank you for defending the homeland, for choosing to put the American people first and the state of Indiana first. With that, I'd like to turn it over to Secretary Noem. Thank you.
That's what partnerships can lead to. That's when states will work with our federal law enforcement partners. Like, to think that we have states obstructing federal law enforcement is beyond me. I hope these people literally get some stuff on there. And also, Secretary Duffy is working on possibly revoking the ability of Gavin Newsom's California to even issue CDL licenses. Will it happen? I don't know. Take a listen.
Equipped to operate. $160 million will be pulled from the state of California. Tranche one. That's only 4% of the money that they get from us. We'll go on to another 4% after that, and another 4% after that even. But if it doesn't get rectified by the state of California and other huge violators, other states, we're going to pull their ability to actually issue a CDL. You can't issue a commercial driver's license any longer. We're going to go after the schools that don't test these drivers to make sure they're proficiently equipped to operate these big rigs on our roads. We're going to go after them. We're going to go after every link in the chain that's allowing this to happen because, I mean, you play these clips on your show, Will. It is horrific. You have a mom and dad out with their kids on a Sunday afternoon, and they're getting rear-ended by a semi-driver who's not paying attention. You have a guy driving a semi without pants on. The stories are, I think, would shock the conscience of most Americans. These people should never be on American roads.
Great point.
$160 million.
Absolutely, they're killing American citizens. That video that's in the background was just horrific. And I knew it. And I think it was Karen that texted me. I said, most likely illegal. How do we know this? How do we know this when it happens? How, when a Catholic school shot up, do we know instantly the ideology of the person that did it? It's happening too much. That's why. Conservatives can forecast things better than your weather forecaster can. This was Ali Bradley said, this is an exclusive. We talked with Commander at Large of Border Patrol following a hearing on use of force. He says the judge's TRO just motivated them to go even harder. Remember the temporary restraining order that was issued by a liberal judge? Then he was ordered to go in and meet every day, Monday through Friday at 6 o'clock to give him an update. Like, you got to come to the principal's office. Then another judge struck that down. Take a listen to this, because he was also at this event. I believe he was not at this event. Yeah, I think he was. Hold on. Take a listen.
Chief Gregory Bovino says that they're going to go even harder now with that order. And the order really gives him and his team a chance to prove that they're operating legally, ethically, and morally, and that their operations are, quote, airtight. Take a listen.
TROs are simply a facet of doing business, and we do our business very well. And the business of arresting illegal aliens here in the United States is definitely good.
Now, the chief also highlighted the use of less lethal tools, body-worn cameras, and restraint policies, saying transparency and safety are the priorities here. The chief telling us he's actually looking forward to getting his own body camera, which was ordered by the judge.
The fact that there are very few, if no, injuries is indicative of a well-run operation and the use of force that is optimal and excellent. Can't wait to have a body-worn camera. It'll help tell a story. Some folks will be shocked at what they'll see on my body camera, just as they'll be shocked on what they see with the body cameras worn by our agents.
Protesters, though, outside of the courthouse and throughout the city have shown their frustration over the last few months with Bovino.
It is absolutely disgusting that the Trump admin has declared war on its own people.
Those are not his own people. The Trump's own people are American citizens, rightfully so. And for that matter, not anchor babies. That will be changed pretty soon. Wait until the Supreme Court hears that one. I mean, the 14th Amendment, which had to do with children of slaves and slaves, to give them citizenship as an equal, not for people to visit the United States, have a baby, and now their baby has citizenship, granted U.S. citizenship. That will never fly, and the Democrats know that, and they are livid. These people are just insane. Listen.
We are all U.S. citizens. We are a diverse group of Chicagoans. As you can tell, we're
a diverse group of Chicagoans. You're all white. You're all white liberals. That's how diverse you are.
A diverse group of protesters from all backgrounds. We are all Chicagoans, and we want him to stop.
Look at the only diversity I see is you got one on the right with pink hair. That's the only diversity.
Gassing our neighborhoods and terrorizing our neighbors and terrorizing Latinos and anyone who has brown skin in this city. It needs to stop.
Now, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker just wrapped up a news conference not long ago where he actually...
Tiger Jaw says, Josh, this is DAHP who is in the process of chemotherapy. If the person wins and then cannot be contacted, then keep it for another raffle. That was a $60 Rumble rant. I'm not sure. So are you talking about, because old Uncle Bill got you 4 entries last night. So give me some clarification on that, or email me clarification. Thank you for the donation. And again, we're praying for you. But I also wanted you to email me your address. I'm going to send you something. I appreciate you, but thank you, Tiger Jaw. And yeah, just clarify that for me and we'll be good to go. But thank you. Appreciate you. The data does not include. So we're seeing a lot of fake news articles, guys. And check this out. This was from Ben Bradley. They're trying to say the people arrested are American citizens or haven't done criminal activities. They're in the country illegal. Oh, this is for that person. Awesome. Awesome. Another one for DHP. You guys rock, man. I love the Oreo Army. Awesome. So now he's in for 10 entries. Thank you so much. I got you. Reading comprehension was not my best. Now that I read it, it makes perfect sense. Thank you. You were awesome. Thank you. And yeah, he is in for 10 entries now. That is awesome. This was a news article from Ben Bradley TV, more fake news. Despite promises to focus on the worst of the worst, data shows 71% of those in ICE custody don't have criminal convictions. Secretary Nome was just asked how many arrested in Chicago have been charged with violent crime. She said, I'm not sure we have the statistics. And I love Bill Malugan shooting back, who knows more about the border than anybody. He goes, this data does not include those with pending charges, cases, conviction only. So if I'm an illegal alien and I kill a family of 4 sitting on a street because I'm drinking and driving, I have a 3-year trial, right? 2-year trial. Nope. But ICE can pick me up, say you are involved in this DUI. This is how they're manipulating the system. Totally manipulating the system. Laken Riley and Jocelyn Nungary's illegal alien killers didn't have convictions in the U.S. beforehand. And it says, is ICE supposed to wait until someone commits a serious crime before enforcing the law? Good job on you, Bill Malugan, for spitting the facts. How about this one? Speaking of those people, ICE arrested 2 criminal illegal aliens wanted for murder on the same day in Texas and Georgia. In Texas, William Mercado, a criminal illegal migrant from Honduras who was wanted by law enforcement since 2022 for murder, was arrested, according to DHS. In Georgia, ICE arrested Salvador Rodriguez Mendoza, a twice-deported criminal illegal migrant from Mexico with an active arrest warrant for murder. His rap sheet includes multiple drunk driving offenses, drug possession, driving without a license, and driving on a suspended license. You notice nobody, Pritzker, none of your CNN, none of your MSNBC, that douchebag that just put out how many people were in ICE custody. Why aren't they talking about this? Why aren't they sharing this information of these 2 people right here? Again, wanted for murder, arrested. Why can't the left say, good job, ICE? Because they don't want to. They want these people on the streets. These are the same people that shut down prisons so they could release these criminals back onto the streets to make your communities less safe. That's why. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. Awesome. DAHP is in here. Awesome. Yeah, you guys, I do. You guys bring back humanity in this chat. I'm not lying. Also, I don't know if I can find more on this, but I did want to say something. It says sources say an ICE officer was involved in a shooting in Ontario, California earlier this morning. It says details are limited as this is a developing story. This is from Ali Bradley. It says release via Ontario PD. It says on October 30th, 2025, which that's today, at 6:33 a.m., the Ontario Police Department responded to a request for emergency assistance from Department of Homeland Security officers regarding an officer-involved shooting at the 2800 block of South Vineyard Avenue. Ontario police officers were involved in the initial incident. It says several Ontario police officers responded to the scene to provide traffic control and scene security while DHS conducted their investigation. The Department of Homeland Security and the Federal Bureau of Investigations are investigating the incident. We are working to get more information. It says more from DHS around, okay, let's see. It says around 6:30 a.m. on October 30th, ICE officers in Los Angeles conducted a vehicle stop at the 2800 block of Vineyard Avenue in Ontario. During a stop, an unknown individual, not the target, in a vehicle pulled in front of the officers. Officers ordered the driver to leave the scene. As the driver began to pull away, the car stopped and attempted to run officers over by reversing directly at them without stopping. An ICE officer, fearing for his life, fired defensive shots at the vehicle. The subject fled the scene and abandoned his vehicle. This is another example of the threats our ICE officers are facing day in and day out. My problem is we need to do better training with these ICE officers. They need to be out in the field right now doing one-day training where there's moving targets and stuff where they can just hit center of mass shots. I'm guilty. I said it. Center of mass shots. These people are putting our federal law enforcement partners at death's door. Can you imagine just trying to do your job and you have a car reversing into you? That is insane. Just insane. Let's see what else we got. This is crazy. When we talk about the violence, I don't know if a lot of you knew this. And again, I don't think mainstream media report on it. And if they do, there'll be a twist. But some of top Trump's officials, do you know where they're living at now? They're moving on to military bases for their own safety and security of them and their family. Stephen Miller, Marco Rubio, Kristi Noem, and others are living at homes on military bases because of the threats on their lives. If that don't tell you where we are at in this country, that's why I'm not a fan of martial law. But when you have governors working against you, when you have police departments that won't stop criminals that are there to assault law enforcement, and then you refuse the National Guard to protect those buildings and those officers. Insurrection Act, martial law. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Hey guys, thank you so much. Thank you, Tiger Jaw. We had some, let me see here. I don't know why this thing is doing that. Driving me nuts. Let me go over here. Maybe it's better. Maybe that's part of the error stuff. So we're going to go to live chat, donations. Everybody who jumped in the raffle today, I'm going to give you a shout out right now. Again, we got this raffle that was won yesterday, but Krista R said she wanted to donate it back to the Oreo Army. Thank you, Krista R. We appreciate you. Thank you for being part of the family. And it's going to be that cross that's custom built by my good friend, Big Mike, same one that made this cross right here. Then we have the MAGA and the Trump light up hats that light up. You guys know if you've been watching the show, you get one of either or of those. You get one hat and that cross shipped out to you. So if you guys want to enter, it's donation based. Every $10 donation gets you one entry. If you have, if you do $30, you get 3 donations, 5 donations, so on and so forth. Want to thank everybody who's been participating and helping us out. And again, thank you for keeping the show on the road, if you will. We're going to show all those donation links here in 1 minute, but I want to give a shout out to those that I know donated. Mikey Ray, Gandalf, Chevy 72770, and Tiger Jaw all got entered in, and Tiger Jaw donated his entries to DAHP. That is awesome. And Jay Lynn did a $5 Rumble rant, and First Amendment Media, Penny Loafer, did $2 rants. Thank you. We appreciate you. I'm going to double check one more thing. I don't think we had any Zelle or anything, but let me see. And sometimes it takes a little while. So if I don't give you a shout out this time, I definitely will. It says updated. So there was no Zelle, Venmo, or Cash App. But if you guys want to get in now while the getting's good. And want to say thank you to everybody. We will have one show tomorrow because we're doing the Halloween trunk or treat at church. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you. Those donation links are coming up right now. And jump in on that raffle, guys. Thank you, and have a blessed evening.
don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud, shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you.